The first in a series of exploring and flying from abandoned airports will be at Amboy, California. While the date of construction of the Amboy Airport has not been determined, the earliest reference to the field which has been located was an article entitled "Dedicate Air Highway Over 3 States." This was in the May 16, 1925 issue of the Oxnard Daily Courier. The article said, quote, "At Amboy, not only has an airfield been constructed and treated with calcium chloride, but the name of the town has been painted in huge letters so that flyers may readily discern their location," end quote. The Amboy Airport was apparently closed for a few years during World War II due to wartime security restrictions, like many other small civil airports during the war. It was not depicted at all on the 1941 LA sectional chart. There was no airfield at Amboy depicted on the 1949 LA sectional chart. However, at some point between 1949 and 1954, the Amboy Airfield was reopened as Conn Airfield. A fellow named Roy Crowell owned the property on which the airfield sat. And at some point between 1954 and 1960, the name of the airfield was changed again to Roy. And the airfield was described in the 1960 LA sectional chart as having a unpaved 3,700-foot runway. Amboy is right on Route 66, and this is a photo we took there on a Route 66 road trip in 2017. Sadly, the motel and cafe are not able to operate due to a water shortage. Before we go fly and look at this place from the air, this is a shot through the window of the motel lobby. And as you drove your family down Route 66, here are some of the cabins that were available to rent for your overnight stay in Amboy. And of course, it never hurts to promote your business along Route 66, even if you have to do it with an airplane on the highway. I had made friends with a young fellow from Sicily, who's in the yellow shirt in this photo, and he was traveling in the U.S. on a long road trip with 3 friends from Italy. And that's my wife in the pink hat. This is an aerial photo taken of Roy's back in 2001. So the question is, how good of a job did Asobo and Microsoft do using satellite imagery to recreate this location? I'm going to fade from this photograph into the depiction of Roy's as done by Microsoft and Asobo. While the buildings aren't architecturally very accurate, at least the count is pretty close, as well as the location, and they have the runways. I think it's time to go fly. I'm going to speed this part of the trip up about 900% just to keep you from getting bored to tears. And of course, your question should be, where is he taking us? Well, that little mound ahead to the left is the Pisgah crater. It's a volcanic cinder cone. I've been there twice before in person. I've flown my drone and gone down into the cone on this volcano. And you're actually going to get to see a little bit of that cone as depicted by Asobo and Microsoft. And that would be the little caldera of this small cinder cone volcano from which cinder is mined. I'm not even going to bore you with a fast flight fact. I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to jump ahead to where we get close to Roy's. Aha, ahead on the right, that's Roy's. I think we should land there. So before we set down or crash, let me be the first to say thank you very much for riding along with us on this, our first adventure going to an abandoned airfield. Our next abandoned airfield adventure is already planned. It too will be in the Mojave Desert, and we will be visiting an old Army air base.